right, roll call. Vice Chairman Todd.
Present.
Commissioner Hood. Commissioner Fantasis.
Present.
Commissioner Lewis. And I'm here. All right, we have a quorum. Adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend that we adopt the agenda as printed.
I second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the agenda is adopted. Okay, we have assisted housing in Section 8, Mr. Lundy.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, Commissioner, we have one item before the board this morning, and it will be presented by my Vice President of Assisted Housing, Ms. Kanji Drake. Ms. Drake.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today I have one item for board approval, which is amendments to the Section 8 Administrative Plan. I'll go over the requested changes as they appear in the admin plan, and as we go over, please let me know if you have any questions. So I'd like to first start off by the changes that I'll describe reflects a program that we like to add. And when we get to that part of the amendments, I will explain it more in detail. Anything in red is what we like to add. Anything crossed out is what we like to delete. So the first page just depicts the addition of the requested changes to the table of contents of the administrative plan for the new proposed program, which is Exhibit K, Foster Youth to Independence Initiative, Tenant Protection Vouchers. The next page depicts required changes for this specified program as relates to how the families are referred to the agency, and it also adds the new program to the admin plan. And we'll talk about and discuss how the families are referred also. Exhibit K, which are the third and fourth pages, they reflect the actual policy changes for the program that is requested to be added for our agency. And so now I'll explain what exactly the Foster Youth to Independence Program, also known as FY, is, what it is. It is a program that was created to help prevent kids from aging out of foster care from homelessness or being at risk of homelessness. This initiative includes the State of Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the housing authorities in the state of Alabama who would like to participate. HABD has the opportunity to be the first PHA in the state of Alabama to receive a referral for this program. This program was designed specifically for youths ages 18 to 24 who are aging or have aged out of foster care. Direct referrals will come directly from DHR to the PHA. The PHA will then determine their eligibility for the HCV program. Once eligibility has been determined, HABD will send an email to HUD, and HUD will then decide if the family receives a voucher. And this will be the process per each person referred from DHR. Upon a response from HUD, and if the family is approved, HUD will then increase the PHA's baseline allocation. Once a voucher sunsets, which means that the person is off of the program from either their time is up or they violated program rules, the HABD must alert HUD and they will immediately decrease the baseline allocation per each voucher that ends. Families that are referred to this program have a total of 3 years for participation. The contractual agreement is that DHR will provide supportive services to the families to assist with self-sufficiency and that they are ready to leave the program. HABD, us internally, we've agreed that we, along with our family self-sufficiency program, will get each family connected with an FSS coordinator as soon as they receive a voucher so they can become a participant as soon as their assistance starts. The next 10 pages that you have after Exhibit K is the HUD PIH notice, which is entitled 2019-20. And this summarizes all the information that I've discussed here today, including the program as a whole, how the families are referred, as we just discussed, and how the PHAs are allocated funding for this program. and the time period that they have on the program, which I've established is 3 years max. Please let me know if you have any questions.
So I have a couple questions. So as far as these are tenant protection vouchers?
Yes, for the foster youth to independence.
How many vouchers, okay, I see 25 vouchers per fiscal year?
Per federal fiscal year, yes, sir.
Okay.
Do those replace any currently existing vouchers, or are these 25 additional vouchers?
These are 25 additional vouchers. Per each referral that we receive from DHR, that actual referral has to go directly to HUD, and they ultimately determine if the family is approved or not. So once they say, yes, this person is approved, they will increase our baseline allocation. So we send them one, let's say next week, and if it's approved by HUD, they will increase our baseline allocation and the money associated with that voucher. They'll do that increase then. And if we send them 10 more in a month, and if they approve it, they'll increase our baseline allocation by the amount associated with those 10 additional vouchers. So this is in addition to.
And if I can add, Kenji did an excellent job. So we have a unique opportunity to take advantage of this program. HUD actually called us a week or so ago and asked us if we would participate in this program. And of course we said absolutely, because it's focusing on a demographic that's underserved. And it's those kids that are in foster care that are aging out. And many of them become homeless because they'll leave the foster care home, can't find a place to live, and then they end up on the street. But we said yes, absolutely. And on Tuesday of next week, and that's why we're here today, because in order to participate in the program, we had to change our administrative plan, had to be adopted. And so I really appreciate the effort of this board to permit us to have this special board meeting to consider this new initiative, because it's going to have a significant impact on those kids that are aging out of foster care in the Birmingham area, Birmingham district. So we're really excited about being able to participate in the program.
Vice Chairman.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just had one question. I know that from 16 to 21, what's the age limit? It's, I think, from
18 to 24.
18 to 24, coming out of the DHR custody.
Yes, sir.
We know that they're still not going to be self-sufficient in terms of being able to do certain things. The DHR going to continue to monitor them, or are we going to be
That's
responsible?
correct. So with this contractual agreement, DHR has agreed that what they will do is continue to provide supportive services to these families.
I want to make sure I read that.
But in addition, we, HABD, we would like to also introduce them to our FSS program. And with our FSS program, we know that is geared directly to assisting our families become self-sufficient. So we want them to have access to that program day one. So as soon as HUD tells us this person is eligible, we want to have the FSS coordinator there to introduce them also. So that way they still get the required from DHR, but we want to do in addition to.
Okay.
And I would just like to let you guys know, I had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Bill Benson yesterday. He's over the state of Alabama DHR program. We met face to face on yesterday. And we were just talking about the program and DHR as a whole. And right now they told me they have 1,857 youth that are facing homelessness now, that are aging out of foster care. And I could see behind just speaking with him his passion about the youth for foster care, and I just feel like this is an opportunity for us to help. Even though it's 25 vouchers this fiscal year, we get additional 25 next year, and with all the PHAs that participate, then we can help reduce their homelessness within our community.
Go ahead, Vice Chairman.
Yeah, one other question though, which I'm definitely for the program itself. I just want to know if we get a fluctuation of vouchers for this age group, do we have placement for them?
So last year we were very are you talking about housing placement or
Housing.
the capacity?
Yeah, both of them same to me.
Me too. Okay.
Well, housing, if you're relative to housing, yes, we do. Just last month, December to January, we had 35 new landlords sign up for our Housing Choice Voucher Program. So that's really good. So we have over 4,500 landlords that are active within our program. Also, last month, we hosted a landlord lunch and learn.
Okay.
And that way we were able to get out different things that we're doing with the agency. We also were able to talk about specific inspection, HQS needs and qualifications for their units. We also have monthly landlord outreach, landlord orientation. Every month we rotate the time. So 1 month is 10 a.m., 1 month is 3 p.m. So that way we can kind of adjust to people's schedule. And far as staff, we did very well last year with our leasing. And because of that, which we did get all of our points for CMAP, that increases our budget authority internally. So we have the staff in place for it also.
One other question, Mr. Chairman. Do the persons know that the type of clientele that we are talking about from 18 to 24 coming to their homes to live and all of that? Because you know the detriment of a teenager being in a place.
So right now the age, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's go ahead.
Right now the age is 19.
Okay.
So anybody that's 19, they can apply for housing assistance now and they're eligible. And we do have families that come through all the time.
Okay.
So it'll still be private landlord renting and the same things.
So with these tenant protection vouchers, will there be any housing authority, public housing units allocated for these vouchers? Or is this just?
This is
Section
strictly
8.
housing choice vouchers.
Okay.
This is Section 8.
Okay, all right. All right, I probably do have a few more questions, but I just got it. And it seems pretty straightforward to me. I just want to make sure that no unintended consequences, I don't see that there are. But I just really don't like voting on something that I just got a chance to look at, but I'm gonna make an exception this time, and I think that based on the information that you provided, I feel comfortable with moving forward with this item, even though I have not read, I hadn't read half of this. We just got it here today as we sat down, so I'm leaning on the expertise and the qualified opinion of the staff because, again, I have not read this. And so I'm trusting that you guys have done your due diligence for this program.
Yes, sir. And in the event you ever have questions, of course, feel free to let us know, and I'll be glad to answer them at a later date.
Yes, and commissioners, if there come a time where we need to modify this, we've been working directly with HUD to make sure we had the language correct, and this is a new HUD program. It gives us the opportunity, obviously, to serve a demographic that's underserved at this point. We're going to provide the voucher through the department, and DHR is going to provide the counseling, and so we will be able to help those potentially homeless individuals. I had the opportunity, and so did Ms. Drake, to meet our first participant yesterday, because we're having an event on Tuesday to kick off this new program, and they're going to be HUD officials from the region, around the region, to come to the event. And this participant is going to be the first participant, assuming that they qualify, a single parent, to receive a voucher. And so it's a pretty significant milestone for the agency and for the administration of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, because it's a new program. and they're trying to meet the need of some of the things that we've been talking about at this board, the whole issue of homelessness. And so sometimes I know I don't often think about children or young adults who may be homeless. I think about the traditional families been around for a while, and here are kids that just been in the world 18 years and they're subject to being homeless. So to be able to help those kids, I think it's a marvelous thing, and I appreciate the board considering this item in such short notice.
Mr. Drake, are there other, basically, has this been done before, and are other groups in the
Yes.
state or in the southeast doing this too?
There, in the state will be the first one to receive a referral, because it was actually a collective, agreement with our state, the state of Alabama. So our HUD office, the state of Alabama, and DHR, everyone actually got together and wrote the policies, our ARA board and everybody and things like that. And right now it's a total of 280 PHAs through the United States that have been participating since this was implemented in July 26th. So since that date, 280 PHAs within the U.S. have already been doing.
Okay. And has the feedback been pretty good on how the program's been managed?
From the things that I've read from the HUD posts and all of that, yes, that I have seen posted and everything. And that's why I also provided the notice for you guys, just for references, if you ever need to look back on something like that.
Just one other question. This would just be focused for the Birmingham clientele, or would this be refers outside of the Birmingham area?
Jefferson County.
Jefferson County?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very familiar with the need, as I was one of the therapists at Family Child Service Gateway. And when they was maxed out, we didn't have nowhere to send them. So I know this is a very needed program. But I do ask that as we get further into the program, keep us an update, for us, some of the challenges that have been recognized and how they were resolved. Okay.
All right, so if there are no other questions, if I can entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a recommendation that we approve the recommendation to house our young people in this program. Sorry about that.
Okay.
And the revision of the administrative plan too, I guess? That
Yeah.
part of-
Right.
Yeah, we
That's it.
revise
Approval of the
administrative.
revision of the Section 8 administrative plan. Yes.
I second that.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, the item's approved.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Drake. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Drake.
All right, real estate development, Mr. Lundy.
Chairman, Vice Chairman, Commissioner Passes, we have before this board this afternoon one item for real estate development. I have my Vice President of Real Estate Development and Capital Improvements, Mr. Corey Stallworth, to make that presentation. Mr. Stallworth.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you is an approval authorizing HABD to partner in the submission of a 9% low-income housing tax credit application for the redevelopment of Southtown Court. At our last regular board meeting, myself and our developer partner, Southside Development Company, who was represented by Ms. Carol Clark, gave the board an overview of the Phase 1 redevelopment plan, which included the development of 60-unit family building and a 160-unit senior building. We also notified the board that the developer partner is working on a 9% tax credit application for the 60-unit family building. The developer partner has made much headway since our last meeting. Since the last meeting, they were awarded by the city $960,000 in home funds for infrastructure work and construction work related to the 60-unit family building. And so now they are needing to submit their application and are needing documents to be executed by our president and CEO to go with their application. And those documents are pretty much regulatory documents, commitment letters, certification letters of how many units at Southtown and the need for affordable housing across our portfolio. And so the 60-unit affordable housing development will be named Park Haven. That is a name that we also still need to work through with our residents, but they needed a name for the application purposes, and so that's the name that they'll be using. Those 60 units are anticipated to be subsidized using project-based vouchers. And as I stated earlier, it's very important that this application is submitted because it will assist in closing funding gaps associated with the 60-unit development. And it also assists with bringing back replacement housing on the site within the first phase of redevelopment. Are there any questions?
So I have one quick question, and I'm gonna pass it on down the line, and then I may come back. So the name of the 60-unit affordable housing development, Park Haven, how was that derived?
So that was a name that was derived in-house within HABD. We wanted to come up with a name that resembled more of a family unit, more market rate feel. We did bring that name before Resident Council President, Ms. Jaquise Reynolds. She would like to explore other options for that name, which we will entertain that. But as I said, we had to just use a kind of a name place for the application.
And just to add to that, commissioners, through the application process, and Ms. Hollinger can probably address it. When you start the application process for the 9% tax credits, at some point when you began putting the application together, you have to have a name in order to submit it. We got a call from our developer partner that we needed to have a placeholder name in place, and it was a pretty quick turnaround sort of issue. And so we said that we would just do a placeholder until we can have a longer period of time to work with the residents, work with the community to decide what the official name would be of the development.
There's plenty of time to change it down the line.
I just wanted to bring a little bit more context to how we got to.
So that's not the permanent name, Park Haven, it's not that?
No.
Okay, all right.
So we'll have many more design meetings with the residents, and we'll talk about the name, the look of it, and all of that through our town hall meetings with the residents.
Well, I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know when we were redeveloping the villas at Titusville, I know that there was a lot of discussion on that name, and that there was, a lot of discussion. I want to say that we worked with our PR firm that we have procured to work with the community to look at what name they thought would be a good name for that community, and I thought that process worked fairly well from the outside looking in. So I would recommend that we do the same thing here, is work with the firm that we have procured to provide those community meetings and stakeholders. And I even think that with that last development, that they even asked the board for their advice or recommendations as well. So I thought that was kind of you to do that. So I thought that process worked really well, and I would like to see that process duplicated here for Southtown.
Yes,
Yeah.
we definitely can implement that process.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Passes to you.
I don't have
Okay.
any questions. My understanding is this basically is due pretty soon, right?
Yes, so the application is due on February the 12th.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So the commitment letters, I know, I heard you say you had commitment letters. So can you tell me who you currently have commitment letters from?
So those would be just commitment letters from the Housing Authority, saying that we'll commit to work through the vouchers once we get to that point. PHA certification letter, which will tell how many units are on site, how many vacancies are on site, as well as the need of affordable housing across our portfolio. So there's no outside commitment letters.
Okay. All right, what about support letters?
So support
Is
letters.
that part of this process?
Yes, support letters are a part of the process. There is a mayor's support letter that will be a part of the process. Also, any resident support letters are a part of the process as well. They're not required, but they are advantageous to have those a part of the application.
Okay, so do you guys plan on obtaining support letters?
Yes, SDC and HABD, we have already met with the leadership, Mr. Jaquez Reynolds, to work through that on getting that support letter.
Okay, so do you have any support letters currently right now?
You know, the mayor's commitment, and then we're working, like he just said, with Jaquez to
Okay.
get those support.
So we do have a commitment letter from the mayor?
It's supposed to be delivered Thursday.
Today.
Today, yeah, sorry.
All right,
We've tracked that.
okay. All right, I don't have any other further questions. If there are no other questions, if I can entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a recommendation that we approve the authorizing of HABD to partner in the submission of 9% low-income housing tax credit application for the redevelopment of Southtown Court.
A second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, that item's approved. All right, thank you, Mr. Stallworth. All right. All right, so if there's no other business that needs to come before this board, is there any other items that you want to discuss? Okay. All right, with that being said, I think we need to go into executive session for discussion concerning our contract. So if it's a pleasure of this board, I would like to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we go into executive session in good name and character to discuss the proposal for legal services.
A second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor? All opposed? All right, so we're about to go into executive session, and we will be in executive session for approximately 30 minutes, and we will reconvene at the call of the chair.